Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked Fly Fly Fishing, and today let's talk about my favorite shooting head. Oh, I love this thing. It's the Airflo Rage. And the reason why I like it so much is it's such a flexible line. If I want to turn over something that's really big and ugly, but I want a floating line to do it, well, I just run a leader right off of this. If I want to finesse things, I can put a poly leader on the end of it. And if I want to get down, I can use a poly leader, a long fluorocarbon leader, and one of my sparse flies, and I'm dragging bottom. So it's like, why do I need any other line system? There's some days I begin to think that the only thing I need in my gear bag is a Rage head. I have got a load of videos out there on rod reviews where this is what I'm using on the end of the rod because they work so beautifully. Uh, you throw a poly leader on the end of it, decent sized fly, a long leader, a long tippet section on the off the poly leader, and boom, over it goes. And the reason for that is the tip section on this is fairly thick. The way to think of it is imagine the Airflo Scandi Compact with about 5-6 feet cut off the front end. That's basically what this is the Scandi Compact with the chunk missing off the front end. So this taper is shorter and the tip is thicker, and that gives us the ability to turn over stuff. It was originally created to be a replacement for Scandi heads on the Deschutes, where they were into these gorges with a lot of wind and the Scandi head would get blown all over the place. So this had the ability to chuck stuff into the wind and have it work. It was almost like a floater Skagit setup. And it was designed to work just as it is with nothing else attached to it except a leader. But you can put poly leaders on the end of these, and in the heavier line weights, I've attached 15-foot sink tips on the end of the old factory ones, around about 105 grains. And I've put that on the end, and I've used them on with 15-foot 10-11. Oh boy, did it ever go. It's a great solution. So in the heavier line weights, you can actually put these types of things on the end of it. You can put sink tips on the end of it. I've actually got a blog post where I put a spreadsheet on there that says here's what you can put on a Rage head of varying weights and varying sizes of tips, and they'll work. So it's a very interesting solution. I mean, I really do a lot of my fishing with Rage heads. They're incredibly effective, and it's just a simple design. It really is very simple. It's as I say, it's a Scandi head with the front 5-6 feet missing, and that gives you the turnover that you're looking for. And if you want finesse, you add a poly leader. And if you don't need the finesse, don't add a poly leader. If you want to get deep, we've got other solutions for that. In the heavier line weights, you can actually add sink tips to them when they work. So you've got a lot of choice. And as I say, they are probably, if you're in the Great Lakes and you don't have a lot of money to spend, and you're saying to yourself, what should I buy in the way of a head? I mean, I don't want to spend a ton of money, but I want to catch fish. I want to fish effectively. Well, this on a wallet of poly leaders, you'd be surprised how well you'll do. So give that some thought. The Airflo Rage is probably my favorite shooting head these days. I've done a lot of fishing with these, and I've caught a lot of fish on them. Love them to bits, as they're so flexible, and they're beautiful, sort of in between a Skagit and a Scandi. They're a tweener, and they can handle so many different situations. So, if you're looking for something that does everything kind of head, check out the Rage. Cheers.